We're getting back to the core message of this channel today, which is how you breathe and how much you breathe has a big impact on your pain and performance and is at the heart of everything we've been talking about over the last 6 episodes. In this video, we'll talk about how your brain is your greediest organ and how to know if you're fueling it properly. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tara Bianca and I am a longtime holistic health coach, an Oxygen Advantage Master Instructor, and a Z-Health certified practitioner teaching functional and performance-based breathing and nervous system conditioning. I think it's important to get back to a very basic question. Why do we breathe? It's not to exercise our rib cage or to relax or to do breath work. We breathe to produce energy. Your breath is one half of your energy system along with the food that you eat. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Your brain is an absolute energy hog. Even though it's only about 2% of your total body weight, your brain takes about 20% of your body's available oxygen and glucose supply. That's a huge amount of fuel just to keep your nervous system online. And if your breathing is inefficient or dysfunctional, your brain is going to suffer. Well, what does that look like in terms of performance? To answer that, let's look at the brain's feeding pattern. Your brain accepts in and utilizes that energy supply from back to front and from bottom to top. That means the deep survival areas in the lower back part of the brain get first dibs on glucose and oxygen. This area is dedicated to autonomic functions, so things like heart rate, blood pressure, breathing rhythm, swallowing, etc. That also means the areas that are higher up toward the front of the brain, aka your frontal lobe, get whatever's left over. Those higher centers are responsible for things like executive function, planning and decision making, focus and attention, voluntary movement and fine motor control, emotional regulation, and impulse control. So if your fuel supply is not great or oxygen is not being delivered efficiently, the brain will make sure that the primitive survival systems get fed first. And things like creativity, planning, self-control, and smooth coordinated movement can get shortchanged. This can be one of the reasons you feel foggy or unfocused, clumsy or uncoordinated, emotional or reactive. It can literally just be a fueling issue, something going on with your nutrition or something going on with your breathing. Most people think more breathing is better, but your breathing should perfectly match your metabolic demands in any given moment. And for a huge majority of us, that actually means breathing less. If you are constantly over-breathing, even subtly, so breathing too fast, breathing too big, breathing mostly through your mouth, you tend to blow off too much carbon dioxide. This matters because carbon dioxide is not just a waste gas, it's a signaling molecule that tells your red blood cells to release oxygen from the bloodstream and deliver it where it's needed most. Without sufficient CO2, you can have plenty of oxygen circulating in your blood while your brain and other tissues are literally hungry for it. On the flip side, if your breathing is too shallow or your mechanics are poor, you may not be moving enough air through the parts of the lungs that are best designed for gas exchange. So you kind of end up with another version of the same problem. The oxygen you think you're getting is not reaching your tissues efficiently. This is why I focus on slow, light nasal breathing, as well as breath-holding strategies in order to upregulate CO2 in the body and drive more fuel, in part to the brain cells, allowing for greater focus and attention, better decision-making, improved movement quality, and emotional steadiness. This is really where breathing shifts from being just a relaxation tool to being a performance tool, a brain health tool, and a nervous system conditioning tool. So if you are someone who has been working hard on your health, your mobility, your strength, or your sport, and you still feel like your brain or your body are underperforming, I would invite you to look at your breathing, not as a side practice, but as a primary fuel source. How you breathe and how much you breathe are not small details. They are major drivers of how well your brain functions and the kinds of outputs it can create for you every single day. If you'd like support in assessing and retraining your breathing in the context of your nervous system and your performance goals, I am currently offering a discount on one-to-one neuro coaching. You can check out the link in the video description, or you can email me directly with any questions. In the next video, we're going to look at pain and performance as two sides of the same coin. We'll talk about how the same exact inputs can either optimize your performance or drive you into survival mode based on how your brain is integrating and interpreting the information. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time.